Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Den of Owls podcast, episode 1, with one of your co-hosts, TJ, and my other co-host.
Yo, it's your boy and Letter.
So, since our equipment's on a delay with customs, we're just doing it by audio, but most likely episode 2 is going to be audio and recorded. So you get to see our voices, you get to see our reactions, and you get to see our emotions.
Yep.
So, before we start recording, we're talking about building a foundation with everything in life, whether it be relationships, work, or even yourself become a better person. I believe that you should be building a nice foundation, a home, to build your personal self. If you don't have a proper foundation, your whole house is going to crumble. So, for me personally, my foundation is always going to be my mind first. My mind has to be A1. If my mind's not A1 in anything that I do, this house may break. That being said, that goes for relationships, that goes for work, personal growth as well.
Yeah, and ways that make sense because you have to, when any situation like your own personal life, you need to have a steady foundation for yourself because even if you're gonna have a relationship with somebody, if you aren't right, if you're not in that proper state, then a relationship and stuff won't work. And that's the problem that I find with a lot of people is that they're too busy focusing on, the fixtures. I want to have the couch, or I want to get the king size bed to make the house look pretty, but they don't take the time to say, hey, I haven't put up the drywall yet, or I haven't laid the tiles yet, or even fucking laid the cement to make the foundation stable. So it's like, how are you gonna build something proper if you haven't even, started off with building the foundation of it?
It's because people that I see most of the time, especially my generation and the generations to come, it's all about material stuff. Like, they just want to turn up and floss or stunt, as they call it, stunt. But they don't want to build something that's long lasting.
Yeah.
Like, I rather save my money every week or every night to get something instead of spending my money on bottles or buying Gucci, buying Louis, and this, that, and the third, where it's not going to last me. It's going to come out of style in the next 2 weeks. People don't properly put their time and thoughts into the right into the right stuff nowadays.
Yeah.
So that's why you see people broken. Like, they don't know how to express themselves properly, or they think materials is gonna make them be more of a man or
more of a desirable female.
Yeah. Which is so backwards. To the point, it's like, what's the point of? I get having nice things is fun enough.
Yeah, you want if you're gonna work for something, you want to be able to do nice things for yourself.
Yeah, 100%. But don't make nice things be the center of your life.
No,
because shit comes and goes. Money comes and goes.
Style comes and goes.
Thank you. And if you're gonna just focus on that, like AKA the now, then the future, you're gonna be so stuck in your mid-30s to early 40s, and you're like, what did I do with my life? All I did was just turn up.
Yeah. And that it's not even just a whole fact of the turn up aspect. It's that so many people are so busy focused on the material things in their life that they're not like focusing on the other things that make themselves better. Like, for instance, anything I talk about, I like to talk about real shit, real life shit, right? So I dated a girl who, she had not a nice car, but a decent car. She wore really nice, sexy clothes every time we went out, whatever, right? But then one time she was like, "Oh, I want to have you come over my house." I'm like, "All right, cool." So like, "Yo, we're gonna do a thing." So I went over her house, and you know those houses where you walk through the front door and the kitchen's right there?
Yeah.
So I walked in, and I just turned and looked in the kitchen. Yo, dishes piled up, dirty things all over the place, and I'm like, "Yo, this is how you move?"
It's like
This
the
is
girls
how
on
you
Instagram. They take pictures. They take selfies in the room, and their bed is just a bed with no frame, or their bed's on top of Jordan boxes.
Yeah.
Or they're taking it in a washroom, and the toilet seat's up, and you see their shit in the
Yeah.
toilet.
It's like, yo, you're living a life you're living a life externally that makes you look like you're top of top, but in reality, you're shit.
Yeah.
You're shit.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh, when I came by her house, she was like, "Oh, you want me to cook you something?" In my head, I'm like, "Nah, I don't even want to fucking eat from you." She got mad at me because every time I came by her house, I'm like, "Yo, I'm gonna go to Dominion and go get a pizza, or I'm gonna order something. I don't want to fucking eat from you, because yo, if you keep your place like this, like, how am I gonna fucking eat from you? That's fucking nuts, guy. Nah, I can't do that shit."
That's the thing, like, people, I think it's like a smoke and mirrors type of reaction. Like, they want to show you, like, on IG or Facebook, like, yo, my life is lit. I do this, I do that, I buy this, I live this life. But then once the cameras are off, aka your cell phone, and you sit back in your room with just a bed and a microwave and a TV, it's real.
Yeah.
Like, it kicks in, like, oh shit, like, you know, this is me now.
Yeah.
Once the phone's away, this is the real you. And the mentality of that is sad, man.
Yeah. And you know what, like, I gotta say this on the whole, especially on the Instagram stuff with all the Instagram girls. Like, you see with these Instagram girls, and they get mad with guys sliding their DMs saying that, "Oh, yo, like, some foul shit, like, yo, I want you to sit on my face, or I want to do this to you, and blah, blah, blah." And then it's like, oh, they get mad because you're saying that shit. Like, "Oh, I don't like these guys sliding in my DMs saying this shit." I'm like, yo, the only reason why you're popular on Instagram is because you look like you want to fuck. I'm sorry, you can't get mad when you wear bikinis, or you wear booty shorts, or you wear shit that's like showing off your accessories.
Yes.
Not showing anything. Like, the worst is when they're like, they show nudes, like they're partially nude. It's like, "Oh, it's a great day out in the forest." Like, shut the fuck up. This picture was not about the forest. This is to show off your shit. And then you get mad because guys want to fuck you. It's like, that's what the image you're putting out there.
I agree to a certain point, because yes, it's good and all, you want to show your body, and you know,
that's why you're popular.
Yeah, that's good. Like, you know, you want to show your body, show people, like, yeah, this is what I have. I am proud of my body.
Yeah.
I get that aspect, but some people use it just to get clout.
Yeah.
And get famous. But with that being said, it's not like you're doing like some educational stuff or promoting something good with clothes on.
Yeah.
You're promoting stuff with clothes off.
Yeah.
And you're getting mad that guys are like, "Yo, you have a nice body," or "Hey, let's go on a date," or "Hey, you have a man," or sending you unwanted dick pics.
Yeah.
You get mad. I can see why you're getting mad, because you're looking like that, like you're opening up the conversation that you're sexual, but maybe you're not. But your pictures are telling us something else. You know what I'm saying? So you can't get mad for guys doing that. I know there's certain guys online that show their body or whatever and their physique, and I bet you there's not a lot of girls sliding in their DMs.
No. I don't think it runs the same way, because guys are visual and guys are predators.
Yeah.
And men, like, you know what, the same way that, you know, the same thoughts that we have, like saying all this dirty shit, like, females have the same thoughts.
Yeah.
100%. Females have the same thoughts. The only difference is guys will be quick to say that shit. Girls will say that shit when they know that it's okay to say that shit. When they're involved in the conversation with you, they'll be more willing to say that kind of foul shit. Guys just want to say it to see how are you gonna just jump? Are you gonna jump with it, right? So yeah, we'll like, well, most of these like dudes that show off their abs and shit, like get those kind of things. Yeah, some of them do, not as much as the girls.
No,
100%.
Yeah, 100%. It's like even like with the Snapchat premiums, it's all females.
Oh yeah.
I'm not saying I'm looking, but all I'm saying is no guys out there that have a Snapchat premium, and the ones that do, they probably be looking like, yo, you're weird, or why do you have a Snapchat premium for? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, why?
You know what the funny thing is that guys are like, the reason why girls are on the Snapchat premium and they can get a lot of traffic is because they got two areas that mans want to see.
Yeah.
And mans want to be like, ooh, look at them tits. Ooh, look at that coonie. But girls don't really want to look at a dick. Like,
that's true.
Girls don't, like, most girls that I've talked to, they're like, yo, penises are ugly. There's nothing appealing about visually a penis. It does what it's supposed to do to them, but I don't really find it appealing at all. And that's the reason why, you know, like, even like you see what like the male strippers when they have like the chocolate factory or whatever, right? I don't even know what the fuck it's called, but you know, girls go to that kind of shit.
Yeah.
They're not going there to look at the man's penis. They're going there to look at the hard bodies and see what the fuck they can do. Can they dance? Can they do this? They got to do a whole show before they whip out the dick, and they don't really care about that. They just want to see the show. Guys go to strip clubs to see, yo, I don't care what the fuck you do. Take your clothes off. Do you look good?
Yeah,
do you look decent dick naked?
Yeah, that's true.
Because half the time when you go for a lap dance, do the girls really do anything? No, they suck.
Yeah.
They fucking suck while they're up there. But it's just like, oh, he put some tits in my face. Oh, yeah.
I would say, not to disrespect the Canadian strippers out there, but
the American strippers are...
The American strippers are way better than Canadian strippers.
Yeah.
It's more of a show to them. It's more of a hobby. Down here, it's like, it's a do or die thing. But they don't take the passion, they don't take it seriously. Like, there's no passion in it. American girls, there's a lot of fucking passion on what they do. Like, they don't even like to call it strippers. They like to be called entertainers or exotic dancers.
Yeah. Because the whole fact is, like, when you watch their shows, they don't really fucking get full naked. It's just like tops off. But they put on a fucking show to get that money. Down here, they're like, oh, why is it that, you know, the guys aren't really... Like, I even watched it with friends, and they're like, yo, the guys aren't really, like, giving money or doing this and whatever. It's like, because it's like the girls down here are a dime a dozen. Yeah. And they don't really do anything to entertain you. It's not like when I was younger, when I was, like, 19, it's like, fucking, you had not just the regular strippers, but you had, like, the times where they would get, like, a porn star to come in and do a show. You know that porn star's going to make money. Yeah. Because they're already getting paid by the club to have them there. So the girls want to be there when they're there because it's like, yo, guys are coming because there's celebrities coming.
More eyes.
Yeah, more eyes on the place. But in the States, it's like, yo, the club itself attracts the guys.
100%.
Right? And so it's like, yo, you know sex sells, but it's all a matter of how you do it. So going back to IG, it's like, yeah, the whole thing with IG is like, yeah, sex sells. Right? So... most of those guys that are like taking off their shirts or whatever, they're either doing like to attract females, fitness stuff to get sponsorships for that, or to attract other gay men onto their stuff because, you know, they know that gay men like the hard bodies and whatever, so they don't care because they're not doing anything, but they're getting eyes and traffic onto their page. And they're not doing it for like to say, oh, I have a political message to say. Nah.
The way that people use their body to make a message, I don't know, bro. I don't know.
I don't know how people can really like try to say like, oh, I strip or I get naked or I do all this kind of stuff or I'm just taking these pictures to put up there, and then all of a sudden try to say like, oh, I got something I gotta say. It's like, we don't want to fucking hear what you gotta say. Like, you haven't really done anything for you have a voice to say anything.
Trust me.
So what the fuck are you trying to say?
But like, the other side of that poll is that I talk to these IG girls or even strippers, and then they'll be like, yeah, like they love us now, but they'll never want to be with us because of our job.
Yeah.
Which is stupid, because if you're gonna go spend money on a Snapchat premium, throw money at the strip club, or slide into DMs on IG and or buy their products, why can't you show love or try a thing with them? Are you ashamed because their profession? If that's the case, why aren't you ashamed when you threw your money?
True.
You know what I'm saying?
Very true.
So it's like, for example, it's like, why have one thing but not the other? People are just too undecisive.
Okay, let me ask you a question. When you say that, would you date a stripper?
Hell yeah, I would date a stripper.
All right, cool. Ask me the same question. Fuck yeah. I ain't gonna
like,
fucking lie. Yeah, I would.
That's so live. Like, you're dating someone that's kind of acrobatic, you know?
Yeah. You already know they're kind of sexually active.
Yeah.
So it's like, you ain't got to worry about that.
They work nights, so you can either sleep in yourself or have them see them in the morning.
Yeah.
They make their own schedule. And they're entertaining.
Yeah.
Why go to a strip club when they have a strip club at your house?
Yeah.
Why throw money at them when you can throw money or food at them at your house? You know what I'm saying? Like, you have the best of both worlds. Like, that's why I laugh when people want to tell me, yo, I can't date a stripper or whatever. Like, or I can't date a porn star. Yo, why not? You watch their videos. You subscribe to their YouTube, or you subscribe into their accounts. Why can't you subscribe to them physically?
Well, you know, I can kind of like, okay, maybe I'm being an asshole about it. I do have a certain limitation to like saying, "Ooh, I'm a date a porn star," because are we talking about a porn star who's in the business right now, or someone who was a porn star?
Both. I'm talking about both. Like, no discrimination.
Because, like, I don't know if I want. I don't know if I want to be dating. I don't know if I want to be dating up with somebody or to shacking up with somebody who I know is like, okay, your job is to fuck other people. Like, that's.
I see your side. I see what you're saying.
It's kind of weird. Like, if you're dating somebody who's a stripper, who you know that. Okay, let's be realistic. Most strippers nowadays, they realize because things in the society have changed and the money aspect has changed, especially in Canada, that a lot of strippers are fucking now.
Yeah. Like,
either in the club or outside the club, they're fucking. Let's be real.
Yeah, 100%.
Right? So you gotta know what the fuck you're getting yourself into. So if you're talking to somebody who's a stripper and you want to talk to them, and you know, like, they went in the club and they fucked you, and now you want to go and talk to them, you can't be that person to go and say like, okay, well, yeah, I know you're gonna be doing the job, but now you're dating me, so you can't be fucking nobody. That's how she made her money from you in the first place.
Yeah, if that's your really interaction with her,
yeah,
then I can see why people get upset. But if your interaction with a stripper is just a conversation or a lamp dance, nothing physical, and you guys talk outside of work and it's something nice and meaningful, why not take that risk?
Yeah, there's no reason not to take a risk.
Be honest, like, yo, be open with her. Like, yo, if you're doing X, Y, and Z, I'm not with that.
Yeah. And it's like, yo, it's really in any profession.
Yeah.
You're taking a risk on anybody you date. Because even like I'm dealing in our industry. Not to say what our industry is because it's nobody's business, but dealing in our industry. you know, it's hard because like there's long days, long nights.
Hours, yeah.
Yeah, there's longer hours. You can go 14 hours a day. And, you know, someone dating someone like us in our industry is fucking hard.
It's like dating a doctor.
Yeah, because you don't know when you're going to see that person. You don't know when you're going to have free time. Your schedule is going to be fucked up all the time.
Mm-hmm.
And that's one of the reasons why it's like some people find it hard.
Mm-hmm.
They find it really like annoying to date somebody in our profession. So it's like, if you're not willing to take a chance with somebody who's working in a fucked up profession, that their like stuff doesn't really work on their end, then you're an asshole.
Yeah. That's being said, like with the porn star stuff, I don't mind that because end of the day, you don't know what your partner was doing before you.
Yeah.
From, let's say, high school, because hopefully everybody was sexually active in high school, not elementary school.
Mm-hmm.
From high school until you guys met, you don't know what she was doing or he was doing.
Mm-hmm.
You could be doing the same thing that porn stars are doing.
Mm-hmm.
Just that it wasn't recorded. Maybe it was recorded.
Maybe it
was. But not on a huge platform on the web.
Mm-hmm.
Or they weren't getting paid for it. Maybe they were.
Mm-hmm.
So you always gotta have that little gray line, like that guy that you meet at the coffee shop or at the bookstore, even the bus. They could have been or are a porn star.
Mm-hmm.
But you don't really know it because they're in their civilian clothes or they're talking to you calm and polite.
Or they could be a stripper and you don't know.
And you don't know. So that's why I say I'm down for whatever, because I know my deal breakers. Like if you're going to do porn and all that stuff while we're still together, there has to be a certain type of porn.
Mm.
I'm not trying to be like the Jackson 5 father and dictate what you do, but there has to be ground rules, not to make me feel stupid or whatever. No, this is to protect my health. Because I'm not trying to be with somebody that's not protecting themselves and then come home with me and it's the same stuff unprotected. People get sick that way. People get caught up in diseases and all that stuff. I want to protect me for the long run.
So if that person was like doing one of those things where they're doing porn beforehand, like with no condoms, they were doing porn beforehand.
Oh, we getting tested.
And you know, like most people know that like all porn stars have to get tested.
Yeah.
Before they do any kind of porn, regardless if they're gonna wear a condom or not, they still gotta get tested, right? So you know the person is a porn star, you get tested, everything's fine, and you know that they've been doing like stuff where they've been doing no condoms. Now, if you're dating that person now, would you try to make a stipulation about, yo, if you're gonna keep doing this in this business, you gotta start making that your partners wear condoms? Because I don't trust none of the guys in the industry. Now, would you make that kind of situation?
I can see that.
Because knowing that it's like a lot of porns that no condom get more money than the ones with
Yeah.
Because most, like, especially for guys, most guys want to see raw.
Yeah.
They don't want to see the condom shit. And I say for myself, like, a lot of times, if I'm watching a porn and it's like, yo, this is some hot and heavy shit, it's getting good, and as soon as I see the guy put on a condom, I'm like, yo, I'm turning off this guy. I'm off this.
And it said no boots.
Yo, guy, yo, I don't want to see if I'm watching like a black dude fuck a girl, and all of a sudden he's putting on a pink condom, like, I'm done, guy. Cause yo, you're gonna see it while you're doing it. You're gonna see it. I don't want to see that.
Best sex is safe sex, man.
I understand that. That's 100% true. But I don't want to see that when I'm watching my porn. Like,
I get you.
I'm just saying.
I get you.
I don't want to see that when I'm watching my porn.
I get you. Well, yeah, I'll probably tell her, like, it's either me and you gonna wear condoms or you and them wear condoms.
Mm.
Like, I don't mind wearing condoms with a partner. Like, I don't mind it.
Mm.
If your profession is adult-like, I'll most likely wear condoms just to be a safe side for me.
Mm.
This has nothing against your job or whatever, or your feelings towards me. Just in case, let's just say we break up or whatever the case may be, and I get the bumps or the burns.
Yeah.
I just put my life on the line. Just for you.
Uh-huh.
So I use a condom. Like if she wants to like stop or change from girl to girl or just solo webcam, I'm totally fine not wearing a condom.
Okay.
I'm saying?
I did with that. I hear you.
So like, that's how it is. That people, it's all about options. There's options everywhere. You could be with somebody for a year. They do one thing that pisses you off. You're gonna swipe left and try to swipe right with somebody else. I always say this. Like, I always blame two things for the decline of communication between humans. Like face-to-face communication is the internet and smartphones.
Yep, 100%.
Those two killed interactions with other humans.
Yeah.
Face-to-face. Because I could easily just go to my phone. Let's say I'm lonely tonight or whatever. I want a date or arm candy. Just go on my phone, go on an app. 2 minutes later, I have a date at my door, ready to go night bar hopping or whatever the case may be. Nobody is coming up to people nowadays like, hey, by any chance, like, are you single or whatever. It's all through the phone. And then when people meet each other in person, it's like, what do I talk about?
Well, you see, the whole thing with the apps and whatever, it's just a way of killing off the rejection of actually talking to somebody or approaching somebody and them saying, nah, I don't like you. Because it's basically what would happen in real life, swiping left and right, to now as an app so that people don't get that automatic rejection.
The butt hurt.
Yeah, because like I said, I've been on the app. Like I'm on some of those apps, the Bumble and whatever, and I still say Bumble's a bullshit app because it's an app just made for women, and it's an app that basically women can judge men. And yes, some of the apps are made out there for men to judge women. Yes, that's shitty too. But the whole thing with the apps now is that you can go on these apps. And it's all about the first impression, the first look that you see about that person, right? So it's just like in a club. You get that first look that you see that person like, oh, do I want to approach them, right? So when in reality, when you see that person, you see that they look a certain way that you find physically attractive, now it's up to you. Are you going to approach them or are you not going to approach them? With the apps, you swipe right to say like, yeah, I want to talk to you. Now, if that person you don't come up in their feed, they'll never get that swipe. If you come up in their feed, they can be like, oh, nope, I don't want nothing to deal with you. So it takes away the whole rejection because half the time you're just swiping. You're not really looking at faces. You're just like, oh, she's attractive, swipe.
Yeah.
Within honestly, from in the time you look at the picture to you swipe, that picture has not registered in your head. All you saw was something about them that physically made you go like, ooh, you swipe right and you never see that face again. Right? It's only if they come back to you. So it doesn't really register in your head if you got rejected or not because you never see that face again. Whereas in reality, you see that face and you're just like, hey, what are you saying? Ew. Alright. And now you, for the rest of the night, because you actually interacted with that person, when you're in the club or wherever, you're going to see that. If you see that person again, it's like,
yeah, but that's certain men, though. Like, that's 97% of men. I'm not that. Like, if I get rejected, I get rejected. They call it a day.
Yeah.
Like, for me, rejection makes me more powerful. I know it sounds stupid, but listen. When you get rejected, it is what it is. You keep it moving. If you make it hurt you, they win. If you just carry on with your day and talk to other people and all that, you're one up yourself. You're having more power towards yourself. Because that person that just rejected you, they're going to see you succeed with other people in the same area, and they're going to come back like, hey, like, what's up? Didn't you just reject me like 10 minutes ago? well, you know, like I seen you talk to other girls and they gave me your number. Maybe I missed something. But if you're there while the girl said no to you the first time, you're gonna sit down all night, wherever you are, the bar or lounge or bookstore, sit down all night and sulk. She can be like, yeah, see, that's the reason why I rejected you. You're moving butthurt.
You're moving like a bitch.
So, getting rejected, guys, it's a win. Any way you look at it, it's a win if you make it empower you.
No, we're not telling you to go and like. Okay, you gotta talk about this. You gotta talk about this.
I know what you're gonna say now.
There was this dumb bitch.
Oh man.
There was this dumb bitch. Now, look, I'm gonna move real hard right now because like I said, I'm gonna talk real. So there was this dumb fucking bitch who was doing this thing on YouTube. Yo, my boy showed me this video, and this fucking bitch was telling guys, you need to go out there. I want to challenge you guys to go out there, go out to a club, and get rejected by as many girls as you can. What the fuck does that mean? It's like, yo, no man wants to get rejected. Nobody wants to get rejected. So we're not telling you to go out there and like purposely go out there and like try to get yourself rejected or put yourself out there to get rejected. No. He's telling you is that, you know what, if you get rejected, it's, you know, it's not a bad thing. You know, rejection comes in life. Like, think about it like this. Rejection comes in multiple facets. It comes in relationships. It comes in work, where you might put something forward and people don't want to go with it. So you're rejected by that. It happens. You get rejected with your friends, where, you know, everybody's trying to decide to do something. You put out a thought, you put out an idea, and people are like, nah, I don't like that idea. Fuck that. It's like rejection happens in all facets, right? So you got to be able to deal with rejection because it's a natural thing that happens in life. I think that's more what my man here is trying to tell you.
Yes. Don't make it weaken you. Do not make it weaken you. But that's funny that you mentioned that girl, man. I forgot all about that conversation.
Yo, that conversation made me want to go, yo. I told you right after that, I'm like, yo, what the fuck is this?
That's the wrong information still. But yeah, everything in life, there's always a yin and yang to it, or pros and cons. Nothing in life is all cons. Nothing in life is all pros. You have to find your middle ground, or 80-20. 80% good, 20% bad. Or if you're somebody that's mentally ill, or don't have self-respect for yourself, you probably want the opposite. 20% good, 80% bad. Whatever refers or works for you, that's fine. But for me personally, I like 80% good, 20% bad. Because nobody that you meet or something you do is going to be perfect. There's going to be hardship. There's going to be ups and downs. There's going to be challenges. Life is all about challenges. Don't make every challenge ruin you. Like, for example, getting fired from your job. Like, you could be working at this job for 15 years, whatever. And you think everything's going fine, and one day you get laid off. Don't make you getting laid off hinder you from finding another job or being okay with yourself. I'm not saying leave a job like, I know I'll find something bigger and better. No. Go cry. Go be weak. Be vulnerable. You're allowed to do that. And after that period is done, I say do that for 2 days, maybe 3 days. You pick yourself back up. You go find a better job. You go find something that gives you more purpose, more life. Or find a job that you love to do and you want to do before, but you couldn't have the chance to do it. Now there's a chance to do it. Same thing for relationships. If the partner does not want to work things out with you, cool. Let them go. Walk away. Because you sitting there trying to plead, beg, chase, be desperate, be needy, you're just giving that person more power. and you're losing your power, and you're losing self-respect for yourself.
Yo.
So, I think nowadays a lot of people don't have self-respect nowadays. Their respect nowadays is from validation.
Mm-hmm.
If they don't get that validation, that means they have no respect for themselves or nobody respects them, which is totally bullshit, because at the end of the day, you make yourself happy. No other person or job or thing makes you happy. You make yourself happy.
It's called fucking self-esteem for a
Yeah.
reason.
Nobody could be the motor to your mouth. No one can be the fuel to your brain. Nobody can be the source of your soul. You are the key of your happiness and what happens in your life. Don't make your life be around other people or be about other people.
Don't determine yourself by how others look at you.
Thank you.
Or how they feel about you. You should be determining your life by your own actions, by the way you think about yourself, the way you feel about yourself. Because if you put so much emphasis on everybody else, the problem with that is when everybody else is gone, you got nothing.
Thank you. Especially with breakups.
Oh my God.
Breakups shouldn't break you. Literally. It shouldn't break your soul. If a person wants to break up with you, that's on them. When it comes down to it, they don't see your value, and they don't see your self-worth and what you put to the table. That's okay. Because someone else is going to see your value, how great of a person you are, him or her, and they're going to cherish it. They're not going to put you aside and let you go. If somebody really, truly cared and loved you, they're going to work for you. They're going to work hard for you. They're going to try to work things out. They're going to try to come see you. They're going to try to talk to you. They're not going to be distant, cold, and act like nothing happened. Because if that's the case, you're just there for the cuffing season, or you're just there until their main target was available.
I feel like in one aspect with that, I'm like, when it comes to certain things, when it's building a relationship, starting off a relationship, I say, and this is going to sound real fucked up, be mindful of winter relationships. Be mindful of winter relationships. Reason being is because a lot of times during the winter time, people get more lonely.
Yeah.
People are fucking lonely during the winter time, and they always want to have somebody that they can cuddle with or, snuggle with and keep them nice during the winter time, because you don't really gonna go out as much. You don't really want to go clubbing as much and whatever. Like I'm not a clubbing person during the winter time, but this is the first winter that I'm trying to do everything. Oh, hashtag we gonna be at Decal, so if you're gonna be there, holla at your boy. Iron Letter's gonna be there, so come and get our wine and your things. Alright? But most time during the winter time, people just wanna stay to themselves. So they don't wanna be alone. They wanna have that interaction with other people. But then when all of a sudden summertime comes around and the guys start walking
Cabana
around
Club.
and the no shirts, and the girls start walking around in the summer dresses and whatever, you start seeing all them things out there. All of a sudden it's like
Woodbine Beach.
Yeah, all of a sudden they're like, I don't know if this relationship's gonna work. Blah blah blah. Maybe we should, see other people. Be mindful. It's like especially when it's somebody that's been around in your life for a while. Like you might have saw them in the summertime, they never really said much to you.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden cold months come along and now they're like, hey, what you saying? What you up to? Be mindful of the cold weather niggas. I'm saying this for mostly for females. Be mindful of cold weather niggas. Because like they're looking for that girl that they can just like have around. That can just be there during that time, and then when the sun starts coming out,
You've been released.
like you've been demoted back to being you're just the winter bitch.
Yeah, which is also bad in Canada because most of y'all winter.
Yeah. So you got 9 months of you're my winter bitch, and 3 months of I got some summer hoes.
Yeah, which is crazy. So like I said, always have value onto yourself. Don't make other people determine your value. You know what you're worth. Don't make people try to demote you for what you aren't.
Yep.
If people don't want to work with you, people that don't see a future with you, they're basically they're just saying you're not worth their time.
Mm-hmm.
So if you're not worth their time or even emotions or effort, don't try to prove yourself why you should be in that time slot. By you doing that, you're just looking desperate and needy. I'm not saying you shouldn't, like, you should be a dick or whatever. If somebody lets you go, let it be.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe at this time and moment, it wasn't meant to be.
Yep.
Maybe you both need to mature more until you guys connect again. Nothing wrong with that. The breakup is not the end of anything. A breakup should make you a better person. Maybe to your next partner, or maybe down the line for you guys to rekindle the connection.
Yeah, I gotta ask you something realistically in that.
All right, go ahead, man.
I want to know. You know, you just said when you break up with somebody that there could be potential for, you know, things working out again. Now,
Yeah.
I gotta ask you, do you think if you come from a relationship, and you break up, can you be friends with that person? We're gonna segue into something that we like to call the power of friendship. Now, first, part one of power of friendship. Can you be friends with your ex? Are there potentials for being friends with your ex? Your thoughts? I got my thoughts. You know my thoughts.
It's. I'll say yes.
Okay.
It depends on the person.
Okay.
I don't think time invested means anything.
Mm-hmm.
The relationship could have been 2 months, and you guys have a good bond, a good connection. Maybe something didn't work out. Maybe, let's say, you work too much hours or just too intensive, but the time together was nice and whatever. You could be friends. It'll be hard to detach from the romantic stuff. Yes. That's the main reason people cannot be friends with the ex, because they think about the sexual part of it, not the mental or soul connection. So I can see why a lot of guys don't want to be friends with their exes. I totally get it. I was like that once.
Yeah.
But I was like, you know what? Let me just try this one time and see how it goes. Right now, it is what it is. You learn more from not having that, I guess, physical bond. You have more of I won't even say emotional either. You just have more of a mutual respect for each other. From that being said, that could grow to anything. That could grow from you guys hating each other to, you know what, this guy's a good guy or a good female. Let me just start back up again. It could go both ways. It depends how you approach the situation. If you're going to still talk to your ex like you're in a relationship still, one of you guys will get turned off real quick. It'll be like, yo, we're not in a relationship no more. Don't call or text me every day, or checking up on me every day or every other day is kind of weird. We're just friends now. I can see why people get frustrated or angry. I can see that. You just gotta treat it as a brand new friendship that you guys never dated before, or you guys dated before but nothing physical.
Well, I kind of feel like when it comes to breakups and being friends again, I'm like, yo, it all depends. It like same way like you said, but I feel like it all depends on where you started from.
Yeah.
So like, if you started as friends and then you developed a relationship, like if you were friends first,
Before.
right? You were good friends and then you decided to have a relationship. And then, you know, relationship didn't work out. Yeah, you can go back to being friends. But just like how you said before, it's like the physical and the intimate stuff and whatever. So there has to be an honest break. A lot of people just say, okay, you know, we were friends before, so we can, you know, not be in a relationship anymore and go back to being friends and everything's gonna be fine. No, it doesn't work like that. Yeah. Especially if you don't have a clean break, meaning that you guys don't talk for a good while.
Yeah.
Because if you just like you were fucking last week and now you're friends again. There's no time. There's no time to separate between yo, we were smashing, now we're friends. Like,
Yeah.
it doesn't work like that. You got to have a clean break. Now, if you just met and you guys got together, and then, you know, you smashing, and then you want to say, okay, we're going to break up, but let's just be friends. Nah, that shit don't work. I don't give a fuck what anybody I don't give a fuck what anybody says. That shit don't work.
Okay.
That shit does not work.
In that logic, it's super hard because that logic, yes, if you're friends before the relationship, a physical relationship, I could see it be much easier becoming friends. If you guys just met on road and talking whatever, and you form a physical relationship before our natural friendship, yeah, it could be hard.
It's super hard.
It could be
you
hard.
guys are not friends.
Yeah.
I don't give a fuck what you say when you guys
It'll be
break
hard.
up and you're like, we're friends now. You were never friends in the first place. Because a true friend knows knows enough about that person, knows the good, the bad, indifferent, you know, the ugly sides of that person. But you don't know the horrible sides about that person because maybe you broke up because you started seeing the ugly sides of that person and that made you break up in the first place. So if you already seeing the ugly side of that person, you're just like, yo, I don't want to deal with this in a relationship. Why the fuck you gonna want to deal with it as a friend? You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, I see your point.
Because if you're in a relationship with somebody and you're just like, okay, you guys are together, and then you find out, yo, she's a bitch, or he's a slob, or he's an asshole, and I can't deal with that assholishness about him, right? If you weren't able, if now that you're broken up, you gonna really still tolerate that shit?
As friends.
You're not gonna want to tolerate that from a friend. If somebody is your friend and you know that they're an asshole, it's like, you know what, I don't have to deal with it all the time because he's just my friend. When he starts to go on, like, even as a guy, when you start having a friend who starts going on with their asshole-ish ways, it's like, yo, man, I'm gonna be out with you for a while. I don't want to fucking be with you for a while. Or you have a female friend who says and does things that makes you go like, yo, man, I don't like. For most females, when they have a female friend who is a little too out there with everybody, it's like, yo, I don't want to deal with that for a while, so I'm just gonna X you for like a couple weeks. You can do that kind of stuff and then still be like, yo, she's my friend, but I don't really want to deal with her all the time. Now, when you have somebody you've been dating, and then you find out that she's a bitch. I'm not putting any names out there, but I'm just saying that she's a bitch. And then I'm talking for myself. You find out she's a bitch, and then you break up. You can't then say, yo, I'm going to be friends with you. Because they're like, I already know I don't like you in terms of relationship. So when I deal with you outside of the relationship, what was keeping us together was we were having sex or we did things together. Now that we're not in a relationship, a couple of things that kept us together aren't there anymore.
True.
So I have no reason to tolerate your bullshit.
True.
So I feel that you can't. There's no way. The only way that you can be friends with that person afterwards is the same way if you were friends first. If you have a complete break, separation, don't talk to each other for like a year. Just like go your separate ways. Yeah, man, I'm being dead serious. Like, here, yo, I'm telling you. Okay, I had this friend who I knew through a mutual girl that I was dating. We were friends with the same person. We went our separate ways. Me and this girl went our separate ways. But then me and this one girl, who ended up being my girlfriend, we started talking, but we were friends first, so we developed a relationship. Then when we going on in the relationship, we broke up because I had a lot of stuff going on in my life where there was a lot of turmoil going on, and she couldn't handle it. And I told her, yo, I totally understand. I understand you can't handle it. You know, we'll end it. Mutual breakup. We didn't talk for a year. We went our separate ways. Didn't talk for a full year. Then when we talked again, it was like we were just friends again because there was that time of separation. I went my way, she went her way. When we went back up again, it was like, hey, how's life? How you been? We didn't talk about relationship. It wasn't about us previously being in a relationship. It was seeing my friend again for the longest time. You have that time of separation to get over the relationship so that you can actually go back to being friends. But when you're just fucking and then like, oh, I'm gonna be your friend now. There's still that the sexual tension, and then there's still the resentment.
Yeah, resentment's always gonna be there.
It's always gonna be there. So you can't just go and say, yeah, we're gonna be friends now, even though you fucking pissed me off like this and da and this and the third. And then you know what, within that friendship, they're gonna say or do something that's gonna make you go like, yo, what the fuck am I even talking to you for?
True. It depends on the person's mind. Like, the person like.
You coughing a lot, boy.
Yo, it's a hot topic. That's why it's mud in my throat. But yo, me personally, I could do it.
Okay. Your throat's saying no. You better suck on them halls, boy.
Don't kill me. I think I could do it because if you really care about somebody, like really, really care about somebody, I think you could separate the physical just to make a better bond. Mm-hmm. It will just like a little fling here and there, then whatever, off you go. Mm-hmm. Well, if you really have a connection with somebody, like I'm not talking about like you guys like the same stuff or same hobbies and values and goals. I'm like a real actual connection with somebody. Mm-hmm. Why not give it a try?
I'm not saying not to give it a try. I'm just saying it's not going to work unless there's like an actual
separation,
like a divide. Like two people can't work, especially when they just came out of something. It's like, okay, you know what? I'll give a caveat. I think the only way that can work is if it's a mutual breakup and both people realize, you know what, within the relationship, they're better off. Like they developed a friendship,
yeah,
but there were like the physical or the actual, not even like physical, but the relationship aspect, they just can't see it with each other. Like they both came to the realization, it's like, you know what, we've developed a friendship within this relationship, but we didn't really work on our relationship. We went so far being friends that it's just more comfortable being friends than being in a relationship. Like, if we didn't, like, to put it bluntly,
yeah.
If we stopped having sex, period, we just stopped having sex, would we still be in a relationship? If both people can honestly say that, no, if we weren't having sex, we wouldn't be in a relationship, then there's no point in being together. You guys are basically friends who occasionally fuck.
Friends with benefits.
Yeah, so you might as well just say, if you can say in that sense, yo, you know what, I think it's just better we go our separate ways. But I really care about you, blah, 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 and I really, I want to see the best for you. And I think, we're better off as friends. If both people can mutually say that and there was no resentment in the breakup, then of course, yeah, you guys can still be friends. You guys can go from a relationship to a friendship because you developed a friendship within the relationship. But if you didn't develop a friendship, if there was no, like, real communication, and that's the major thing involved in relationships, lack of communication. Fuck you, nigga. There's a lack of communication in relationships that people aren't talking to one another anymore, and it starts off from like day one. Is that people don't talk? They don't talk on the phone. They don't say whatever is on their mind. They don't say what's really going on. And yeah, I'm being honest.
Yeah.
Most problems that happen in a relationship is communication on both ends.
Yeah,
both people aren't talking. And I said this on a number of occasions. Text messaging fucked up relationships because everybody's texting stuff, but because nobody's knowing exactly where they're coming from, the emotional state when they make that text. If you're in having, like, for instance, if I'm in a bad mood, right? Yeah. And I'm like, hey, how's your day? And someone just texts me, fine. What are you doing? Nothing. Like, well, fuck you then. You don't want to talk to me, and then fuck it. I don't want to talk to you either. And then it's like later on they call like, hey, what's going on? It's like, oh, now you want to talk to me?
Yeah.
It's like, oh no, I was in the middle of doing stuff and I saw you messaging me, so I just wanted to message you back. But there's really nothing going on. I just wanted to make sure you were okay. It's like it's the lack of like communication on both ends that causes problems because of text messaging. Like my day, like Okay, yeah, I'm gonna put my age out there, but I'm not putting my age out there. My man, I'm 10 years older than my man's here. All right, so my generation goes from the days of like before the cell phone, when we just had phones at home, and you had to literally remember a number and call if you wanted to talk to a girl, to call her, and hopefully your parents wouldn't answer the phone. You had to set a time of like, I'm gonna call you at 5 o'clock. Make sure you're beside the house phone so I can call you. Right? So that's my generation. So we had to actually, if you wanted to set up a date, you wanted to do something with somebody, you had to actually pick up your phone and say, hey, what are you doing tomorrow? I want to meet up with you. And then make plans for the time and be there, because once you left your house, there was no way to communicate with that person, or you had to use a bell phone on the street to talk to that person, right? But nowadays, with all this technology, people are no longer talking to one another. They're not actually having a conversation. They're just saying whatever they want to say in their text messages. And also the problem is people don't read either. So it's like that. I love the fact that you put out those posts on our page. Shout out to the Den of Owls page, our Instagram page. Make sure you check that out. I really appreciate the fact that you put your heart out there and put all this stuff on the page, right? The problem is that you have some people who are willing to take the time and read what you had to say, and then you got some people that are just like
zombie.
It's like, I don't have time to read that. I like that, but I don't have time to fucking read it, right? And that's the problem. People don't read anything anymore. So like when somebody sends out a text message and it's like a fucking booklet of information, they're just like, nah, call me. And that's the whole thing. I'm like, I feel like if you want to talk to me and you have a lot to say, call me. Don't fucking text me a whole fucking, like, on their thing, 2 pages of shit. Fucking talk to me. Don't fucking text me that.
I'm not gonna lie. I've done it a couple of times. I think the reason why people are more comfortable with the texting, like you said previously, is the rejection. Like, they call somebody, oh, I'm busy, leave me alone, or oh, I'm with my family right now, leave me alone, or hey, I'll call you back, and they don't call you back.
Yeah, I fucking hate that shit.
Or hey, I don't talk on the phone, I prefer text messages. Click. So people say, you know what, texting and even sending emails is the neutral zone, because you go both ways. You can see the text, read it, reply back later, see the text, reply back it quick, or just don't reply back to it at all. You have 3 options. To me, I'm an asshole. Like, if I want to send you something, I'm gonna send it to you. I don't care if it's 5 paragraphs. I'm gonna send it to you, just because. And when it comes to the phone, the phone conversation, 2 minutes max. Because I think my message was clear. But if I really feel like a dickhead on that day, I'll send a voice note. That's probably going to be 30 minutes long. Or me just expressing what I got to say to you. And if I really feel like a jackass, I'll send you a letter via mail, post office, P.O. box, to your house.
Okay, you're just really putting out there to people. It's like, this is how I'm gonna fuck with your shit if you're pissing me off. Because to me, that just says like, yo, you're pissing me off, so I'm gonna put it out there in format that doesn't work for you.
Yeah.
But just works for me in a way of just expressing myself. Because the whole thing about, like, when you said about sending a voice note, that's basically your way of saying, I get to say everything I want to say without you cutting me off.
100% on the ball.
You cannot interject into anything that I'm saying because I'm putting it all out there for you.
Yes.
I get it. I prefer, for myself, I prefer like just talking and getting my feelings out there. But I do understand what you're saying about not wanting to be cut off, because there's a lot of times where for anybody, where you're expressing yourself and you feel that you're trying to get off everything that you're feeling, like everything off your chest. You're just trying to get it all out there. And then when you have somebody interject and be like, yeah, I get that, but here's the one thing. I'm going to say that out there for everybody, for all our listeners. when you're having a conversation with somebody, when anybody is like trying to talk to you about something and like expressing themselves about whatever they're feeling, and this goes not just for relationships, but this also goes for work. When somebody's expressing themselves to you and you're listening to defend yourself, it never works. It just makes the person turn off. It just makes the situation worse. You listen to have an open conversation and to hear what the person says. You don't listen to defend yourself, because when you listen to defend, it just shuts the other person down, or it turns them off from anything that you might have to say because you're not acknowledging what they're saying to you. Acknowledge, take it in. Best thing to do is even to repeat back what they're saying, because that shows that you actually listen to what they said. So, like for instance, somebody says to you, "It's like, I don't like this. I don't like it when you talk to me in a degrading manner," right? It makes me feel X, Y, and Z. It's like, okay, repeat back what they said to you first. Like, okay, so when you feel that when I talk to you in a degrading manner, it makes you feel X, Y, and Z. Okay, I get that. But the reason why I talk like this is because blah, blah, blah. Even if you're trying to throw it back at them to say like, okay, well, you're doing this, acknowledge them first before going into your tangent. Don't just say, yeah, but you talk to me like blah, blah, blah. You're already starting a confrontation.
It's like a one-up.
Yeah, and nobody wants that. Everybody wants to feel acknowledged before, they bring up their thing.
I think my beef is I'm just too laid back.
I tell you this all the time, dog.
Like, I'm just too laid back because, like I said, like I've been through a lot of stuff. Like, so what I see or what people do to me, like, it doesn't faze me until like it just starts building up like bricks, bricks, to the point I'm at the roof of the house. That's when I explode. I take life seriously, but people I don't take seriously.
Wow.
Because sometimes, like I said, one day they probably be on their up, one day they probably be in their downs. So I'm not gonna judge you for the day that you're down. Like, you know what I'm saying? Everybody has their down moments. I'm not gonna beat you up for being weak or emotionally unstable. I'm not gonna beat you up because of that. If you're going through a hard time, let's say one of your family members die or whatever, you don't know how to express yourself fully when you talk to other people or your mannerisms or even your attitude, I'm not going to hold that against you. Everybody has their time when emotions hit them the highest and they don't know how to communicate properly. I get that. I'm not going to be there being like, you know what? You've been great all this time, you know what I'm saying? But that one time when your family member died and you're talking to me kind of reckless or talking to me a little bit too emotionally, it made me look at you in a different light. I'm not that type of person. Everybody has their ups and downs. So you shouldn't judge somebody from their downs, or even shouldn't judge people from their ups. Just judge the person, how they carry themselves, their body language, how they present themselves, and how they treat you at the end of the day.
True.
If you want to treat somebody by their mannerisms, you're going to have a small circle of friends.
Oh, yeah.
And a large circle of enemies.
100%. I agree with you 100%. Now, I want to ask you a question, because you brought this up earlier on. You were talking about, like, emotions with guys. Like, people, like, especially, okay, we're going to talk about this from men, and from the man's point of view. Women, a lot of women look at, guys nowadays are not supposed to be emotional. Like, they're supposed to be the rock and hold things strong and never show emotion. Like, how do you feel on that? Because I hear that a lot. I hear that a lot of times when it's like, oh, you're being so weak because you're showing your feelings. Like, stop talking in your feelings and shit like that. And I feel that, it's a double-edged sword, because you want a guy to be, You want a guy to be strong,
Yeah.
and to be whatever. But then at the same time, when he's like overly like strong and whatever, and never shows anything, it's like, oh, you never show me any type of vulnerability. You never show this. And then when he does finally show some type of vulnerability, you fucking knock him for it. Like what do you think on that?
I think showing vulnerability is attractive and a strength, not a weakness. But you open yourself up to that door to either your partner or your friends. That's courage. Take in mind, courage. You're showing someone like, hey, I'm not a robot. Hey, this is bothering me, so I'm gonna show you. Or hey, I love you or like you to this level that I'm not afraid to show you, or I'm not afraid to tell you. I'm not afraid to tell other people. I'm not afraid to express myself. There's a difference between vulnerable and I'm not gonna say the word wuss, but
Bitch nigga. Let's just say bitch nigga.
Okay, we'll say bitch nigga.
Yes, let's call it like we want. Like, bitch nigga.
If you're just on the phone crying and bawling and begging with snot come out your nose, I will say that's a weakness.
That's being a bitch.
Or a bitch nigga.
Yeah.
If you're being like, hey, you know what? I enjoy what we had or this and that, but I believe that something more between us, you're showing your vulnerability, and that's a strength. You're not coming off as being desperate or needy, like we said earlier. Like, people, in everything sacred in life, there's always a thin line. Everything's sacred in life. There's always a thin line. So, being vulnerable is not weakness. Weakness is not vulnerability. Weakness is, like you said, being a bitch nigga, crying and calling up family members and this and that and the third, or stalking people at work. Vulnerability is you showing, hey, I still love you regardless. If you don't see it or not, or hey, I still value this friendship if you see it or not, or I appreciate the time that we had together, but I feel like it ended too shortly. Ain't nothing wrong with that. That's, you're just showing, I guess, your manhood or your alpha status. That's what I like to call it, the alpha status.
Yeah, I remember you were talking about earlier. Yeah, before we started this, we were having a separate conversation about like what you consider an alpha and a beta. So can you just elaborate what you mean by like what you were talking about when you said alpha and beta?
Me personally, I believe an alpha is somebody that is always front in line. He's never in the back. He doesn't make his pack protect him. He protects the pack. He's the one that shows compassion, loyalty, fearlessness, and remorse to his fellow people in his pack and people that he interacts with. I believe an alpha, yes, he is masculine, but yet he's not afraid to be in the feminine energy from time to time. I'm not saying all the time or 50-50, from time to time. That being said, being an alpha, people get it misconstrued about alpha is, you know, I'm macho and I have options and I can do whatever I want. I bench this. I have this. I live here.
I got this car.
I make this money. No, it's not an alpha. More so, that would be more of a beta because you're making what you have material or what's around you make who you are.
So it's like basically like you're just using your outward stuff to define you.
Yes. Alpha doesn't have to do that. Alpha, he walk in a room, don't say hi or anything, and just chill. He doesn't need to be the showboat wearing Gucci or Louis, popping bottles and pouring drinks down girls' mouths, or, you know, being the center of the tension.
Yeah, I was seeing if you're gonna.
I would say that's more of a beta move.
Mm-hmm.
Alphas, they can sit in the cut, play the scene, and watch the whole movie unfold without being buckled or even pressured into anything. I think that's what a real alpha is about. An alpha towards, let's say, a relationship, an alpha always attracts an alpha female, always. But the alpha female will always protect
her alpha male.
Her alpha male. Doesn't matter if it's verbally or physically, even mentally. She has to be there to support the alpha male for herself, for having more of resources for herself and for her pack. When I mean pack, I mean family, friends, or kids. That's what I mean by pack. She has to know when to lay her, I'm not saying lay her life down, but like lay all her cards down for the alpha male. If the alpha male's in danger, she's always first to respond. Be ride or die. If she's not willing to be a ride or die, then you have a beta female. It's not a bad thing to be a beta. A lot of people in this world are betas. A lot of us were born betas that became alphas. Or some of us are alphas that became betas. It all happens in our life. Sometimes one decade we're alphas, half a decade we're betas. We gotta get back being alpha sometimes. Nothing like I'm saying, I'm not bashing people being alphas or betas. You are who you are. But don't just try to fake what you aren't.
But sometimes, don't you think that sometimes you got to be able to play different roles, because yeah, you know what, you're an alpha, she's an alpha, but sometimes the best relationships are when people know when to switch roles.
100%.
Switch up the scene, because sometimes you're out there and you're the one who's the center of attention. Not necessarily that you are trying to be the center of attention, but right now it's about you. And you don't want another alpha female who's going to try and be out there and take the focus. Sometimes she's got to know that she's got to take that step back and be the beta for a while. And the same thing's vice versa. You have a beta, you have an alpha female who's it's her time to shine. It's her thing. And when I say time to shine, it's just not like she's trying to be out there.
Yeah.
It's about her right now.
Yeah.
And you got to take a step back. So you got to be able to you might be both alphas and whatever, but you got to know when to take, switch your role.
Yeah, 100%.
It's just like how Chris Rock had this one thing, had a comedy special called Tambourine, and he's saying that you gotta be able to learn to play the tambourine. So in a group, you can't always be the lead singer. And that was I use it as a reference because I was in a band. I was in a singing group, and I considered myself the lead singer, but you had another guy who thought he was the lead singer, and it's look, everybody has their role. Everybody plays their part. Sometimes that's why I think Drew Hill worked well, because sometimes it's about Cisco, sometimes it's about Jazz, sometimes it's about Nokia. Everybody knew when to play their role depending on what they were doing. Now when you have somebody who doesn't know how to play their role and is always trying to be out there at the limelight with whoever's supposed to be in the limelight, it fucks up the whole rotation, and that's where shit falls apart. So you got to know when to how to play your part, how to play your position. That's what I mean by you got to be able to play the tambourine. Sometimes, someone's going to be a singer, someone's going to be the drummer, someone's going to be the guitar player, and sometimes you're going to be that person in the back playing the tambourine. But you got to just play that fucking tambourine.
That's the thing, because people, I don't know, it's I blame media, because media will have you portraying two scenarios. One, you have to be lovey-dovey and bending backwards on your knees and begging for companionship. On the other side, you have to be a dick or don't show interest and stuff to your partner. Media is black and white. You have to learn or know how to be you know what? Today I'm just gonna relax. A lot of people don't know how to relax.
Mm-hmm.
They can say they were relaxed, but don't know how to relax. Like, you know what? Let me just chill, and let me see how it goes. People want the fast moving things.
Mm-hmm.
They don't want to build from foundation to the roof.
Yeah.
They want the house just like that. Oh, what's up? Boom, the door's made, foundation, da da da. They don't want to go like, hey, you know, how's your family? What's your background? Or were you born here? They don't want to do, I call it FBI investigation. They don't want to do that anymore because they think that's creepy. No. For you doing that, that's showing interest, and that makes you a perfect alpha. Because only an alpha will ask you for actually these certain things. Because they see time in you. They want to invest in you.
Wow.
When an alpha wants to invest in you, he's going to ask you these FBI questions just to see if you could fit in his pack that he already has or a pack that he wants to build with you.
Yeah, true.
Only betas will look at you for your physical, not for your mental. And then once the betas get what they want, they get the flesh, they either off it, give you a trap baby, or try to pass you along to their friends.
That's why we say use condoms.
But an alpha, a real alpha, a true alpha, he'll sit down and break with you. He'll try to break bread with your family and friends. He wants to know what's your hobbies, your interests, your dislikes, your pet peeves, what turns you off, what turns you off. I'm talking about non-sexual first.
Yeah.
Yes, he'll tease you from time to time just to see where you're at in life. But at the end of the day, he wants to know what makes you you and what makes you tick.
True.
If a man's not doing that or a female ain't doing that to you, or alpha female, it's a waste of time.
Yep.
Me personally, I think it's a waste of time. Because if you want to build a bond, because I'm all about bonds and connection. I'm not really about physical. Physical, it comes and it goes. Attraction comes and it goes. I'm all about that mental connection. If me and you could build on a mental connection, that's more than sex to me. Because sex is everywhere. You get sex anywhere nowadays. Sex doesn't mean shit anymore. It's the person behind that body part makes the sex. So if you could connect on a mental bond, like I said before about being friends, if that mental bond is strong, you could be friends.
Okay.
If the mental bond was just based on sex or favors, it's not gonna work. It's not gonna work. But you have that bond, connection, the chemistry, it could work. Yes, it's gonna. I'm not gonna say it's gonna be 100% easy, and no, it's gonna be like going to rehab. It's gonna be hard. But at the end of the day, you could build a better bond by doing this, and probably get back together in the far future, or be best friends.
Okay.
It's a win-win. At the end of the day, it's a win-win. For example, like this friend zone shit. Only I say this to all men. Girls don't friend zone you.
You friend zone yourself.
Thank you. That being said, if a girl says let's be friends, you have the option to say no. Then that by you saying no, you are not in the friend zone. By you saying yes, you are in the friend zone.
I said for most guys, if you are and I said this for myself, if you like a girl, if you really are attracted to somebody, you want to be with them, and they're like, and they tell you, nah, I'm not seeing it, but I can see us being friends. The best thing to say is, nah, I'm not looking for friends. I'm looking for something real.
Yeah.
So if that's all you want, then I'm out.
Yeah.
It's better. It's better to reject It's not a matter of being rejected. You're rejecting the idea of I'm okay with just being this.
Yeah, it's a loose dream.
Yeah,
because a lot of people, male and females, believe that, if I'm their friend, when they're drunk or whatever, have a bad time, they'll hook up with me. Or if their relationship fucks up, I'm next in line.
That's not how it works.
Doesn't work like that. It does not work like that. And if you have that loose dream in your head, you need to have self-reflection and self-respect for yourself. Because if you're going to just wait in the sideline while they have a falling out or stuff's not going right and you see it, that's kind of messed up. Or what's really fucked up, if you're there plotting to make them break up so they choose you, which is more fucked up and more sick.
That's, you're like, I say for anybody who does something like that, you're like, yo, you need to get bun, guy. You need to get bun. Yo, be real. Like, I hope you catch herpes. Like, I hope you catch some, like, herpes, or I hope you get, like, fucking crab louse. I hope fire shoots from your dick. Because to really go out there and go out of your way to plot to fuck up somebody's shit.
That's a beta.
Like, to plot against your nigga. Like, if somebody is your man, or someone's your girl, and you seriously go out of your way to plot against them.
Just for flesh.
Just so you can get, just so you can get some flesh. Like, you deserve everything horrible that comes your way.
Yeah.
Straight up. You deserve everything horrible that comes your way. And I'm 100% real about this. Because it's the worst thing to, like, it's one thing to be in a relationship and to and be cheated on by the person that you're with. It's a total other betrayal to have it from one of your close friends who fucked your shit just so they can get with your girl, or someone that potentially could be your girl. Yes. That's fucked up. You deserve everything horrible that comes.
Yeah, you deserve locusts.
Yeah.
Come out the shower.
I hope you bleed from every orifice in your body.
But yeah, like that's a beta mentality, man. Yeah. Like, or better terms, what me and my other boys call it, we call it hyenas. Hyenas are orphans. Mm-hmm. Hyenas will always eat what's left over. Always.
Fucking vultures.
Orphans are trying to look for a home. So either or, you're looking for something.
God.
And for females, because I don't want to discriminate just on men, we call you girls raccoons.
Oh my God.
We see a lot of raccoons at the club. A lot. When there's bottle service, we see a lot.
Yo, I fucking hate those girls, man. I fucking hate those girls.
There's no discrimination here, so it goes both ways.
Yo, and I hate those dudes too. Yo, the worst thing, yo, I'm saying this for my mans right now. It's the worst thing for you to do is that if your boys buy bottle service, right? They go and buy bottle service, and they have their booth and then they're chilling.
Yeah.
And then you don't put in, or you just show up and you just like, oh, okay, and just go grab a bottle without even being invited to grab a drink. If you're not invited, what the fuck you do?
You're getting booted out.
Yeah, don't do that shit. Be invited. Like I was out. Like I told you, I went out with my girl Nikki, and I met up with her peoples, and they're like, "Yo, we're gonna get bottle service and whatever." I didn't touch the bottle until everybody else did, mm-hmm. And even when everybody else did, I stood there and I just chilled until they said, "Yo, grab a drink." Then I said, "Okay, I can grab a drink." Mm-hmm. I had 2 drinks, and then I said, "I'm not touching that bottle because they paid for it.
Yeah,
I'm not touching that bottle.
It's out of respect."
Yeah. And it wasn't until the end of the night when they're like, "Yo, we're leaving. Take the bottle." It's like, okay, cool. But out of respect, because I didn't put any money into that bottle, you offered me, I took 1.
Yeah.
I took 2 just to look nice.
Yeah.
But I'm not touching it again. And they're fucking dirty.
Trust me, the respect nowadays is out the window. Nobody has respect. There's no loyalty nowadays.
Nah.
It's everybody out for themselves. It's kind of like medieval times, man. Like, everybody's word is not their word, and like there's a lot of Judases out there. Mm-hmm. There's people who literally will stab you in the back for some flesh, or they'll stab you in the back just for like a job promotion or whatever the case may be, or stab you in the back to get your partner.
Yeah.
So, like, sometimes nowadays, you gotta keep to yourself because the streets are cold.
Yeah.
Literally and physically.
Yeah.
The streets are cold.
I just want to say one thing. It's something I've been thinking for a long time, just to say out to my females. Anytime you have a situation like you're having problems with your man, if you're having problems with the guy that you're with, there are two people you don't go to talk to about your situation with your man. One, don't go to your single female friends. Because your single female friends are miserable. They want you to be single too. Especially if they see you have something good, they're trying to break you up. Because you're probably not being able to go out with them like you used to, so they want you to be single because misery loves company. Second, don't go to your male friends who you know want to fuck you. Because when you talk to, yes, you talk to those guys because they make you feel nice and they say all the things that make you feel good, but at the end of the day, they want to fuck you. Just like I said, we were talking about beta males. They're trying to break you up so that they can fuck you. Stop listening to what the fuck they gotta say. If you're gonna talk to anybody, talk to your female friends who are in good relationships because they're in a good relationship for a reason. Talk to your good male friends who are in good relationships, or you know that they have nothing to do with you. They want nothing to do with you. But the number one person you should talk to about problems with your man is your man. If you have a problem with your man, talk to your man. The worst situation is that people don't talk to their partner about what the problems that they're going to. You know, a lot of guys want to talk to their girls about the situations that they're going through if they're having a problem in the relationship, but because the whole thing we were talking about earlier with vulnerability, they feel that if they speak on how they feel,
nigga, you's a bitch.
Yeah, how you acting like this? Why you acting like that? I don't know what the fuck is wrong with you. But then when they turn around, when you females turn around and then want to spread your emotions, we're supposed to then be emotionally supportive to you, but you can't be emotionally supportive to us when we're going through our shit? What the fuck is wrong with you? Right now I'm going on a tangent because I'm really pissed off for a lot of our guys out there. For a lot of men who really want to have a decent relationship with their girls. It's like, yo, if you want us to be open and honest and have a decent relationship with you and to be able to tolerate and deal with your bullshit, you got to be able to be open and honest and tolerate our bullshit. Because, you know what, when we want to be emotional, we want someone to be there that's going to listen. Regardless of whatever it is, even if you think what we're saying is crap, listen. Be open to listen to us. Because when you open the door and actually listen to what we have to say, you'll see that maybe what we're trying to say is something that's detrimental to the relationship, that can build something further with the relationship. And we'll be more willing to listen to you when you have something to say to us. I'm just saying, communication goes both ways. Relationship goes both ways. If you want your man to pay attention to you and listen to what you got to say, you actually have to listen and pay attention to what he has to say. That's all I'm saying.
Real talks. Hit the nail on the coffin right there, man. So everybody, thanks for listening. This is episode 1 of the Den of Owls podcast. Episode 2, like I said, will be also audio and video recorded. And you can see both our reactions and our studio. Thank you for listening. See you guys next time.
Holla.